to today's discussion. Yes, about resilience. Yes, about presence and the beauty of your presence in the discussion today. We're going to talk about a different kind of marriage. A different kind of marriage. So, just for context, if you look back on the library of 820 episodes, recently I compiled a Meaning of Love mini-series, episodes 723 through 731 for your reference. So consider this discussion today as an addendum to that mini-series. Now, from no reputable authority of this thing called marriage that I have entered into 3 times over, and I exited that experience through divorce 3 times, use that also contextually as what I'm saying to you today. Take this dispatch, this discussion, with less than a grain of salt about a new version, different kind of marriage. You may observe that this guy, me, obviously was not good at the marriage enterprise or the construct or the contracts involved in those marriages. Fair perspective and no argument from me on that viewpoint. But as I offer to you, and on every single 820 installment, I intend to change your perspective on the present moment through these daily 500 seconds you choose to spend and share with me. Maybe more, maybe less each day that you consider my statements, my examples, my experiences about resilience. I will never know. Well, I won't know until those 100,000 book orders or the millionth download and views happen each month. I'll never know that anyone heard this, or the one person out there that did hear it. You might never ever send me an email or phone call or a text or shout at me on the street, "Hey, you're the 820 guy." If that ever happens, I'll never know. So until then, I will never know or even gain an appreciation for how many of you resilient souls out there and hearts actually hear this message. But I still maintain that this resilience thing that I talk about, this is what connects all of us, even if we have not connected formally or informally on this positive love and yes message and purpose from me to you. So I happened upon a YouTube episode the other day from Mr. Alan Watts. I had read some of his books in preparation for the very first version of the book I wrote on resilience. Resilience, the beauty of presence, the first version. I had not at that time heard his recorded voice or sayings or perspective. I just enjoyed the words that I read of him and then. So when I heard this recording from him, it was entitled, quote, "Why Most Marriages Fail," unquote. That piqued my attention. As I mentioned before in other episodes and early in this one today, you may surmise that about me. 3 marriages, 3 divorces, 3 failures, perhaps. And I fully accept that. And then in listening to Mr. Watts on this subject, it wasn't about who was at fault in the so-called failed marriages. He focused on the core issue and the faulty, traditional, and status quo construct of all marriages. So that's what I'm going to share with you today. I may need a couple of episodes additionally to cover this topic and in citing Mr. Watts fully. But let's see how far I can get today. I'm not just going to copy and paste the entire YouTube episode by Mr. Alan Watts. Just a few parts that I will talk about that resonated with me and with my new appreciation for a best concept for marriage. But before I insert some of Mr. Watts' insights, I want to start with this. A definition on and of marriage. So let's start with the good old book and Google search and dictionary. And then with that, a caveat from my experiences. So, from the dictionary repositories, here's one definition. Marriage. Noun, obviously. The legally or formally recognized union of two people as partners in a personal relationship. Historically, in some jurisdictions, specifically a union between a man and a woman. Okay. A sub definition is a state of being married. And then lastly, in that one, a combination or mixture of two or more elements. Consider that. That last part of that definition. A combination or mixture of two or more elements. And in that sub definition, it describes a marriage of jazz, pop, blues, and gospel as a marriage. Think about that. Here's another one. Quote, marriage is a legally and socially recognized union, traditionally between a man and a woman, establishing rights and obligations between the couple, their children, and their families. It's a complex institution with various forms and functions across cultures and throughout history. It's also, listen to this, it's also a personal union, often based on love and commitment, involving shared responsibilities, emotional support, and building a life together. That's not bad. All right, so the first few definitions was from the dictionary. The last one was from like a Google search. Here's the one from the Ming definition, from me. Nothing new. My stuff's pretty simple in construct, concept, and context. And actually, like the second part of that first definition from the dictionary, where it says marriage simply as a combination of two or more elements. So, going a little further, marriage as a combination of two or more elements that is based on presence, spontaneity, fun, and work. Work further defined as the 3Ds: desire, discipline, and drive. That's the main definition. Obviously, it might pale in comparison to the dictionary or the Google search, but that's what I'm going to add as my caveat to those earlier definitions of a new view or different kind of marriage. So let's stop there for this one and let's come back for part 2. Maybe I can round this out and bring it all together in the next episode. But until then, stay present, stay current. Do remember, tell your friend, your foe, or someone you're married to, hey, it's always a 20.